Hello, this is Ryan with Deepwood Handcraft, coming to you again from a fall rainy day here in Alaska. It is definitely the rain season now. It's just going to keep on raining until it starts snowing, and I reckon that's alright because I'm inside working anyway. So a couple of quick things. I've got an extremely custom kit to show you today that we just finally finished up on. But before we do that, I'm just going to make a quick announcement. If you've noticed, and people have started noticing already, we've taken the prices and the buy it buttons off of the website for the shoulder bags. And the reason for that is we are switching gears and getting ready to go into a different direction. And I'll explain all of that in a video I will make right after I make this one, just so it doesn't get bogged down. But just a short explanation in this one in case you don't care to watch the next one. We're not really able to do these big shoulder bags at the prices that we've got them at. It's just not working. I've tried and tried and tried to streamline processes and to do everything I could to kind of, keep it at this price point without raising prices, and it's not happening. It takes way too long to get these things done for what I'm charging for them, and in the meantime everything else keeps backing up, and it's just not feasible to keep doing it at the prices that we've got it at. So what did I just say? We're not doing shoulder bags for the prices we had them listed for. What did I not just say? I did not just say we are not doing shoulder bags anymore. So if you're wanting a shoulder bag, you're going to have to get in touch with me for the time being. You can expect to pay more than what we were charging for them. That's just the way it's got to be. If people don't want to pay prices like that, then I'm okay not making the shoulder bags. It's just too much work. It takes way too long. So we are still doing shoulder bags. We will still do custom work. It is no longer going to be our main focus. We just can't do it anymore. What we are going to start doing is we're going to go in an entirely different direction. We're going to stop being so fancy as our main focus, and we're going to start making more utilitarian, more affordable gear. And I'll explain all that in the next video I'm about to make here shortly. So first things, or second things second, I guess. Got an extremely custom kit here to show. And this is an entire kit, and it took me a very long time to do. Belt pouch, belt, tobacco saw, tinder bag, and I'll bust all this stuff down and show it individually. For the belt, this is a Woodsman's utility belt, and it has been customized with a name carved in old English letters and a bit of tooling just to kind of let it stand out a little bit. So that is not stamped. The tooling is stamped obviously, but the letters are carved and then tooled. So whatever font you would want, whatever, these are 3/4 of an inch, the next ones will be an inch just because it'll be easier to carve. It's kind of hard to get the detail. But anyway, customized belt with the name, if you want that, we can do that. That's not a problem. It will cost because it does take time to do such things. So Woodsman's utility belt. Everything on this kit got a different kind of stitching. Everything went in X's as per the rest of the kit. Now the way I do these belts, if you're in your canoe in a Pathfinder Basics class and you get dumped into the beaver pond, this belt is going to be just fine. It's completely treated multiple times with Obanov's heavy-duty leather protector. It's actually heat treated in there and then cold treated on top of that, so your belt will be just fine. Same with your tobacco sheath. That's also been heavily treated. Got the D's and the extra lace back there in case you want to tie that up to something, but if you've got it in your belt and you take a dip in the river, I would dump it out because there's no big drain holes in the bottom or anything, but that shouldn't be a problem because this is heavily treated also, and this one is custom. It's got that same kind of stitching, which I like it. I think it turned out pretty awesome. But stuff like this, that's all veg tan, you need not worry about getting this wet because it's not going to matter. And the soft leather stuff will recover from getting wet so long as you take care of it. Don't dry it out with heat. Make sure that it's treated well with protective whatever before you take that dump in the river. And if your leather is wet and you have it tied up funny or you have it pressed into a shape, if you leave it that way to dry, then it is definitely going to dry in the shape it was in when it was soaking wet. So my thing would be, if I got my gear wet like this got wet, I would take everything out of it, open it up, put it in an airy spot. It can be in a warm spot, just don't put it by the fire, don't hit it with the blow dryer, don't do any of that. Just let it air dry until it's dry. And then hit it again with some Obernoff or something, whatever you're using, fixin' wax or whatever it is that you use on your leather stuff. So, extremely custom pouch. This one doesn't have a name yet. And that's alright, because this is a one-of-a-kind thing. I don't plan on making a whole bunch more of these unless somebody is looking to really fork out a lot of money, because this took forever to make this kit. So he wanted a bit of a fire pouch design. Got the wave, Leatherman wave pocket on the side with the loop and toggle like we always do. And these Leatherman waves, I use this thing every single day, at least if I'm working, and I am, so. And the reason for that is, sewing the veg tan by hand, you need a pair of pliers when multiple layers present themselves, especially on the really thick veg tan. And that little star wrench divot is perfect for putting your needle in to push it through. You just put the end of your needle in right here and push it through the leather, and that way you don't need a palm sewer or a stitching palm or whatever you want to call it. That thing that wraps around your hand, that works perfectly. Push it through, you've already got your pliers in your hand, pull your needles through, tighten it all up. So I use this every day. There is no other brand as far as I'm concerned, it's Leatherman. Made in the USA, I believe. If not, that would be disappointing, but I would still use it anyway. Nice and secure in there, not going anywhere. Belt loop on that is a bit different. Just kind of add a little bit of stability. It's such a big pouch. Figured I better go with a bigger belt loop. Because of the size of it, I wanted to, and the way things went on there, did this whole loop and toggle system a bit differently. Lighter pocket on the bottom. This does not have a lid, but that's not falling out of there. It's just not gonna. It's not loosened anyway, it's not gonna loosen up. That thing's in there. So the way this is done, if you want to loosen this up, you pull these toggles down here away from the body. You got this D-ring here just to make the whole process easier. One-handed opening. First thing on the inside is this Hudson Bay Tobacco Tin. Got a lot of people asking constantly on Facebook what this is when it's shown in pictures. There is a burning lens for starting fires in the lid. Piece of leather to protect the burning lens. Mine already has some scratches in it from the flint. And I've got a piece of flint, steel striker, little piece of chaga in here, and a tinder tube. If you don't know what a tinder tube is, look it up. This thing is awesome in my opinion. Now, mine has a nice patina on it because I've carried this a lot. I don't carry it much anymore because I'm constantly using it in the shop now. So I'll probably have to pick up another one to use in the shop so that I can put one back in my kit. So wet formed Hudson Bay Tobacco Tin there. And this one also doesn't have a lid on the pocket, but the lid for this is keeping that in there, and the way this comes from both sides, that's not going to fall out. It's just not going to. And this side, there's the D-ring and the ferro rod loop. It's kind of hard to see through the viewfinder right now because of the weather, but little tinder pouch to go on the D-ring. You got all your stuff together there. So he did want the fire pouch. He did not get the fire pouch with the stuff on the front because he also wanted the wet form pocket. So we put all the fire pouch stuff on the belt pouch in different spots. And no, you don't have to go through this every time if you want to open it and close. There are ways to carry it so that it's not so secure, but if you are traveling long trek distances and before you get to camp and whatnot, keeping it as secure as possible is a good idea. So, super custom belt pouch with multiple attributes from different pouches I've done before. Leather lace, veg tan trim. This is the new Kodiak Hide, and I like this stuff a whole lot. If you can see, that water is just beating up on there from the rain. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. It's heavily treated with waxes and oils already. Nice deep rich color, a lot of character, extremely consistent hides. No weak spots or nasty spots in them. These are like high quality, good quality hides. I'm going to start using this stuff a lot more. Comes in the two colors we use most, which is the dark cocoa brown and this, it's called tan, but it looks more like an oxblood to me. So that's that pouch. I really dig it. You probably won't see much more like this. I couldn't make this pouch again for less than $250. That's not a price. That's just a guess off the top of my head. It takes a lot of time. If you've done leather work before, and you say, well, that's too much money for that because I've done a little leather work and I know what goes into it, turn something like this out and then tell me that. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything when I say that. I'm just saying there's a difference between something same size and function and something with as much detail. There's a difference. So here is shoulder bag. This is based on the Buckeye for size and shape and buckles. This is not a Buckeye with the rest of it. It's got a soft pocket like the bow hunter, all the trim like the bow hunter. The whole bag is put together like the bow hunter with this X lacing and the veg tan trim. Nice long straps for putting a bedroll or something underneath there if you want to put something in there. There's actually a nice bit of room in there, and this kind of hugs it a little bit and it'll sit up in that depression from where the seams are on the outside of this one. I've got D-rings on this. They're just kind of free floating. I'll explain that in just a moment. So we've got a soft pocket on this side, antler toggles, same as we've got a hard pocket on this side. And to the guy that bought this, this is your compass pocket. It's a nice thick veg tan, it's wet formed. I'm going to put a nice removable piece of sheepskin with the fleece on it in there, trimmed down a little bit so that it'll be padded when it goes in, because it's a bit bigger. If not, you can take all that out, put multiple stuff in here. It's big enough to accommodate any number of different things. Coffee bag, just tied onto this D-ring down here. This one's got an X loop in the back. Nice logo on it. See, all the stitching on this is kind of the same as everything else. It's got that X pattern to it. Just make everything nice and matchy. Okay, so the difference with this one is, for one, this handle is not sewn to the bag itself, it's sewn to itself. Now if you wanted to, you could undo one of these straps, take it out of this handle, run this handle through the belt loops on this pouch, put the strap back through the handle, secure it down, and then your pouch could run right here, ride right here on the front of your bag, if that's what you're into. It'd be quite a bit bigger and bulkier, but if you need to carry it that way for some reason, that's not a problem. You can carry it that way. So, real quick, I am going to undo this. Now the other thing is, with these straps, you can take these straps, this handle, everything completely off of this bag. Leave this bag at camp if you want to. Carry this for something else. Collect firewood. I would recommend wrapping it in something so that your straps aren't right against the wood. That's a good way to wear your straps out pretty quick, in my opinion. But you can take these straps completely off the bag. You can take this handle with it, have a carry handle, the D-rings on the bottom of these straps. You could take your shoulder strap off of the bag, put it on these D-rings, and then you've basically got a bedroll set up with the handle being what's holding everything together. So you carry firewood that way. You could go scout if you're away from camp and you don't want to carry all your gear with you. You just have your essentials in your belt loop or in your belt pouch on your belt, and you can leave your big bulky stuff at camp. I know for me, I carry all my set up camp in my big stuff, and then I have a completely separate thing with my core kit in it. The inside of this, 2 Altoids tin pouches. This is set up so that if you're on the move and you want to get at one, you can undo one strap, reach in here and grab it on the slant, pull it out of there without having to undo everything on your bag. But just to show you, 2 Altoid tins, wet formed pockets right there, that's veg tan. So this is an extremely custom bag. You will likely never see one like this again, because what I would have to charge to keep doing this stuff, people will probably not buy it, and that is okay with me. Like I said, we're moving in a different direction, and I will explain why, besides the fact that we can't afford to do it in a bit. So stand by for that next video. I got to take some pictures of this, go inside and make sure this is all nice and dried off, and then take it to the post office and ship it off. So that's it for me for the moment. Stand by for that next video. It is coming very shortly after this one. I'll probably do it from inside the shop because it is raining out here. And this kit costs a lot of money, and as you can see, I'm standing outside in the rain with it, and I'm not worried about that in the slightest. This stuff is made to take abuse and to be used out in the woods. I would recommend, if you're carrying this kind of stuff, to have some kind of poncho on, because you don't want to soak this stuff over and over and over if you can help it. I mean, the more you take care of it, the longer it's going to last, the less you'll have to retreat it and do all that stuff with it. So if I was carrying leather gear, I'd have some kind of poncho to cover all of it, is what I would have. Just a heads up. So hopefully my camera will continue to work after it's gotten soaked in this rain. But stand by for the next video. Have a good one.